Hey guys, so I get asked a lot why I don't use MongoDB, so I thought I would make a video on it and explain why I don't use it that much. And the reason for that is I don't know it that well. I've been kind of timid to learn it, and that is for a couple of reasons. The first is that it is schemaless. This has some pros and cons. The thing I actually like about it being schemaless is you don't have to do migrations. Migrations are things in Postgres and MySQL and SQL databases where you have to change basically your existing data when you change the schema, because you don't want your schema to be inconsistent with how your data looks. So that's really annoying. That's great about schemaless. But what I don't like about schemaless is it does not enforce that your data is all the same. And that's something I don't like, and I like how SQL does that for you. The second thing I don't like is it does not have joins. If you're not too familiar with SQL, you might not know what that means, but basically it makes making queries very nice, and you can query a lot of data from multiple tables with one query very nicely. So I don't have too much experience with MongoDB, but something I have used more is Cassandra, which Cassandra actually uses something called C-SQL or Cassandra SQL, which it is a NoSQL database here. But if you actually use Cassandra, you'll notice it actually looks a ton like SQL. But what it does not have is joins and the SQL stuff. And so when I was using Cassandra, one of the things I constantly saw and was annoyed about is I could not do joins. And so that cost me doing extra queries. And I actually think you have to be a better database designer to use NoSQL or MongoDB than you do to use Postgres or MySQL and do SQL, because you have to plan this out ahead and make sure you're not doing your data is together, so you're not doing tens and thousands of queries across different tables and stuff. Whereas with Postgres and MySQL, I can do joins, but I found myself many times with Cassandra missing that feature and having to do way more queries than I would have liked. So that's one thing I didn't like. So what I am using is Postgres right now. I would consider also using MySQL. Both of those seem really good. I enjoy using a SQL. I actually probably will spend more time experimenting and learning NoSQL because it does interest me and fascinate me, but for the reasons I listed. And the other thing I'm kind of scared about with MongoDB, I don't know this for sure, but I've heard rumors about it just being an inconsistent database where you can have inserts where half of it gets chopped off, so half of your data is lost, whereas the other half is in your database, and your database can just get basically screwed up and the state totally messed up and lose data, which is really scary. They might have fixed all this stuff. This might be rumors from a while ago, but that's kind of that's why I haven't spent too much time with MongoDB specifically. But I do want to try out some different NoSQL options, MongoDB included, but there's also a lot of other good ones that are worth mentioning, like CouchDB, Couchbase, DynamoDB, and RethinkDB. And I'm sure there's more than just this, but these are the main ones that I've heard about for NoSQL that seem really interesting, all with their pros and cons of what they offer. So these I want to definitely try out, and additionally, ArangoDB. Now this is a NoSQL database that's also a graph database, which is very interesting. So I will be checking out this soon as well. But I plan on testing out a couple of different databases and see which one I'm liking. But right now my main database is PostgreSQL, but I may be spending more because there is some nice things about MongoDB. Scaling is a big plus. I heard is much easier to scale with MongoDB or NoSQL in general. Using something like DynamoDB from AWS could be really nice using Amazon's database. So those things I really like. So I will be trying some more NoSQL databases in the future. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching.